There's an invisible line that separates the men women respect and desire from those who are seen as weak and insignificant. And the most dangerous part? Most guys have no idea they're on the wrong side. If you've ever been ignored, rejected, or felt like you lost control in a relationship, chances are you're making one of these 7 fatal mistakes. Number 6, in particular, destroys your masculinity without you even realizing it. So, watch until the end and learn how to turn the game around before it's too late. Number 1, being overly helpful and available. You know that guy who does everything to please a woman, only for her to lose interest in the end? He replies to messages within seconds, rearranges his entire schedule to fit hers, and is always ready for anything. At first, this might seem sweet, but over time, it starts to come across as needy. When a man has no life of his own and seems to revolve around a woman, the message he's sending is clear. I'm not valuable enough, so I'll try to win you over by always being available. Women are naturally drawn to men who have an interesting life and a sense of purpose. Think about the most captivating guys you know. They're always focused on something, whether it's work, a project, or a passion. This makes women feel like they need to fit into their lives, not the other way around. Now, this doesn't mean ignoring her or treating her coldly. The key is having priorities. When a man puts his own life first, he becomes someone of value, someone worth knowing and being around. Now, imagine you start dating a woman, and every time she has a problem, you drop everything to help her. At first, she might think it's cute, but over time, she'll lose respect for you. The truth is, female attraction doesn't work on gratitude. A woman won't fall for you just because you're always there. She's drawn to you because you're independent, confident, and have your own path. The solution? Balance. Be present, but don't lose your individuality. If she texts you, you don't have to reply immediately. If she wants to go out at the last minute and you already have plans, stick to them. Small actions like these show that your life doesn't revolve around her, and ironically, this makes her want you even more. After all, what's not always available becomes more valuable. Have you ever made this mistake before? Let me know in the comments. Number 2, always seeking approval. Many men think that agreeing with everything a woman says is the best way to create a connection. But in reality, the opposite happens. When a guy constantly seeks approval, whether by asking if he made the right decision or avoiding giving his opinion to not upset her, he becomes predictable and lacks personality. Women are naturally attracted to men who trust themselves, who don't need validation from others to feel complete. Constant self-doubt signals insecurity, and nothing kills attraction faster than that. Now picture this. You're out with a woman, and when choosing a restaurant, you keep asking, "Are you sure you want to go here? Do you think the food will be good? Do you want to change your mind?" At first, it might seem considerate, but after a while, it gets exhausting. She wants to feel like she's with someone who knows how to make decisions and trusts his own judgment. If a man constantly seeks approval, he unknowingly puts the burden of leadership on her, and that kills her desire for him. The key isn't being authoritarian and ignoring her wishes, but rather showing confidence. If you have a plan and believe it's a good idea, express it without hesitation. Of course, it's always good to hear her opinion and adjust when needed, but the foundation of attraction lies in the security you project. When a man shows conviction, a woman feels she can trust him. And that trust is what makes her admire him. So, next time you feel like asking, "Am I doing this right?" or "What do you think I should do?" take a deep breath and ask yourself, "Do I really need this approval? Or am I just looking for validation?" Confident men make decisions and move forward. Insecure men wait for others to approve every step. The difference between being respected or seen as weak lies exactly in this. Number 3, being afraid to say no. Many men think that by agreeing with everything and avoiding saying no, they're being good partners. But in reality, this makes them look weak in the eyes of women. The fear of upsetting her might help avoid conflicts in the short term, but in the long run, it makes a man lose her respect. A woman might like being treated well, but if she realizes he never sets boundaries, she'll feel like she can control him. And when that happens, her interest disappears. Think about a relationship where the woman makes all the decisions. She chooses the outings, the schedules, the activities, and even influences how the guy behaves. At first, he might think it's fine, but over time, he starts to feel invisible. Why? Because he never set his own boundaries. Eventually, she sees him as someone with no opinion, someone easy to manipulate, and no one is attracted to someone who lacks personality. This doesn't mean being stubborn or inflexible, but rather standing your ground when necessary and showing that your opinions also matter. Saying no is also about self-respect. A man who agrees to everything out of fear of losing a woman is already losing, because he's sacrificing himself in the process. If he ignores his own desires just to avoid discomfort, he places himself in a position of inferiority. And no one admires someone who doesn't value themselves. Women want a partner, not someone who just agrees with everything to avoid arguments. The secret is balance. Saying no when necessary doesn't mean being rude. It means knowing what you want and not being afraid to express it. When a man shows conviction and asserts himself naturally, without being aggressive, he becomes someone worthy of respect and admiration. This strengthens attraction, balances the relationship, and makes a woman see him as a real man. Number 4, avoiding eye contact and having a weak posture. The way a man presents himself says more about him than anything he could ever say. Slouched posture, looking down, hunched shoulders, all of this signals insecurity and a lack of confidence. And women notice it immediately. A man who avoids eye contact or takes up as little space as possible sends the message that he's not comfortable with himself. And if he doesn't seem secure, he won't inspire respect or desire. Now, imagine a guy meets an interesting woman but constantly looks away when she speaks, stares at the ground, and crosses his arms as if he's protecting himself. He might be intelligent and have great stories to tell, but his body language is sabotaging any chance of attraction. Women want to feel like they're with someone confident, not just physically, but in the energy they project. And a simple steady gaze combined with upright posture is more powerful than any rehearsed pickup line. Many men think confidence is just about what they say, but their tone of voice, speech rhythm, and eye contact are even more important. Constantly looking away makes you seem nervous or even like you're hiding something. On the other hand, a man who naturally holds eye contact shows he's not afraid to be seen, and that instantly earns respect. It's not about staring aggressively, but looking with presence and confidence. This can be trained, and the results come fast. Adjusting posture, speaking clearly, and maintaining eye contact are small details that make a huge difference in how a man is perceived. And women test this all the time. If a man can't hold his own presence, he won't be taken seriously. True attraction starts before a single word is spoken. Number 5, caring too much about what she thinks. Many men believe that to be more attractive, they need to act according to what a woman likes. They avoid disagreeing, carefully measure every word, and hesitate to express their opinions out, a fear of seeming less interesting. But the truth is, this approach doesn't earn respect. It creates disinterest. Women don't want a man who constantly molds himself to them. They are attracted to those who have their own opinions and follow their principles without fear of being authentic. Now, imagine a guy who, upon discovering that a woman likes a certain type of music or movie, immediately changes his preferences to match hers. At first, it may seem like he's trying to connect, but over time, it becomes predictable and boring. He brings nothing new, no challenge, no mystery. And women are attracted to exactly that: contrast, authenticity, novelty. If all a man does is agree and adapt, what makes him different from the rest? This doesn't mean you should be indifferent or ignore what she has to say. It means you should have your own identity and not be afraid to express it. If you have a strong opinion about something, enjoy a particular sport, or follow a specific lifestyle, show it naturally. Disagreeing with her from time to time won't push her away. On the contrary, it can actually increase attraction. However, man who debates and stands by his viewpoint demonstrates intelligence and strength of character, both of which are highly valued qualities. The key is understanding that a healthy relationship is not about submission, but about mutual exchange. When a woman sees that a man doesn't need her approval to feel secure, she views him as someone valuable, and that makes her admire him even more. A man who constantly tries to please may be convenient, but he will never be irresistible. Number 6. Trying to buy her attention and interest. Many men believe that by spending money on expensive gifts, fancy dinners, or constant favors, they are winning a woman over. But the truth is, this rarely creates real attraction. When a man tries to impress with money or material things, he ends up sending the wrong message, that he needs to compensate for something he lacks. And the problem? Women pick up on this quickly. They may accept the gestures, but they won't feel drawn to someone who tries to buy their attention. Now, think of a guy who, early on in dating, already shows up with extravagant surprises, pays for everything, and gives gifts, even before the woman has shown clear interest in him. At first, it may seem generous, but soon, it becomes unbalanced. He is investing too much without her having put in any emotional effort. This doesn't create desire. It simply puts her in a comfortable position where she receives without having to invest anything emotionally. The result? She enjoys the situation until she completely loses interest. Real connection comes from reciprocity. A gift or special gesture only makes sense when there is already a bond in place, not as a way to buy affection. Women know when. A gift is spontaneous, and when it's an attempt to win them over. And when they realize a man is trying to purchase their attention, their respect for him diminishes. What truly creates attraction isn't the money spent, but the emotional experience he provides. Being a high-value man means offering what money can't buy: great conversations, emotional challenges, a strong presence, and a sense of purpose. Money can open doors, but it's your attitude that makes a woman want to stay. Instead of focusing on impressing financially, focus on creating memorable moments and genuine connections. A man who values himself never feels the need to compensate for his presence with his wallet. Number 7. Being afraid of losing her and acting like she's your only option. Nothing kills a woman's attraction more than sensing that a man is desperate to keep her. When he starts treating her like his only chance at happiness, making it clear that his life has no meaning without her, the relationship dynamic shifts. Female desire isn't fueled by neediness, it's fueled by admiration. A man who acts as if he has no options signals scarcity and insecurity. Women are naturally drawn to men who know they are valuable and who, if necessary, can move on without hesitation. Think of a relationship where the man is afraid to disagree, avoids any confrontation, and accepts any condition just to avoid losing the woman. He stops being an interesting partner and becomes predictable, without mystery, without challenge. A woman may enjoy the attention, but she won't feel that deep, visceral attraction for someone who doesn't provide an emotional challenge. The truth is, when a man becomes emotionally dependent, he suffocates the relationship and turns the connection into a burden. The biggest difference between a man who sparks desire and one who is easily discarded lies in mindset. Men who know they are valuable don't put a woman on a pedestal because they understand that their worth doesn't depend on her presence. They know that if a relationship doesn't work out, there will always be other opportunities. This mindset not only makes them more confident, but also changes how a woman sees them. After all, what's too safe and guaranteed eventually becomes uninteresting. The best way to avoid this mistake is to maintain a sense of purpose beyond the relationship. When a man has goals, hobbies, friends, and a fulfilling life, he never places a woman as his only focus. This makes his presence a privilege, not a desperate need. Women want to be with a man they choose, not one who begs to be chosen. True, power lies in the ability to move forward without fear. Now that you know what not to do, it's time to take the next step in your growth. If this content helped you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. That lets me know you want more videos like this and helps me continue bringing valuable content to you. And speaking of that, the next video is already on the screen. Click now and keep learning. See you there!